First responders were called to Upper Red Lake Monday. This happens about once a year now, doesn't it?
We get this story pretty much like clockwork.
200 people, John?
Yeah, a report of people fishing off an ice chunk that broke free from shore, according to the Beltrami County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office says it was first notified about the situation just after 11:30 in the morning and told that while the initial number they said was an estimated 100 individuals were stranded on the ice. As Kenny said, that turned out to be 200. What they did was they placed a temporary ice bridge over open water at the JR's corner access point to help people get off the ice. By 2:40 p.m., they said it was around 200 people who had been evacuated from the ice. Sheriff's Office also used the incident to remind people that
ice never safe.
I have a ray of hope about this.
Does anybody know how thick the ice actually was?
I do not. No.
I have a ray of hope about
this.
That's
an important part of the story.
We live in a time when we think that the government is involved with every aspect of our lives,
which they are.
But in relation to this story, I heard the DNR does not measure ice thickness, and you're on your own.
Right.
You're on your own.
Well, isn't that basically
we're running out of stuff where you're on your own?
John, do you remember when we brought this up on Krabby Coffee and Dawn absolutely freaked out?
Yeah, she doesn't like water.
She doesn't like water, and ice scares her. And I had gone out on new ice. It was 1-2 inches of ice. And I took a picture, and the ice was so clear you could see right through it.
Oh, yeah.
Freaked her out.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I got my chipper out, and I started chipping. And I went in after a couple of inches. And she thinks the government should get involved.
Yep.
And
No.
it was so awesome. It
How
was
could
so
you be
awesome.
afraid of water? How could you?
She doesn't like things with water.
I'll back her up. I don't like being on the ice either. It gives me anxiety.
Well, she doesn't like the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, that part.
Mostly it's
Okay.
the
Well,
ocean.
I don't like the ice, but I like water.
Yeah, there's a lot going on down there. We don't know what's happening.
That's right.
Plus, you're swimming in fish poop. You keep that in mind.
All
That
right,
doesn't
then.
bother me.
So let me ask a question. How were they
Yeah.
safe if this chunk of ice floated out?
It was substantial enough to support their weight.
Okay. Thank you.
But if they didn't get rescued, they'd still be blowing around out there.
In my younger days, I was always proud to be the first person out on the ice, even if it was caving and creaking as I was walking out there. These days, I like to let other people be the leader.
Get out there first.
I told you before, my mother did a horrible thing to us when we were kids. If she had to go someplace, she'd say, under pain of mortal sin.
That's right.
Do not go on that ice.
On the ice.
And we'd just freeze there. We'd stop and think, we're going to die. We're going to die.
Yeah.
We do anything, we're going to die.
Mhm.
What's the
It worked.
Such? What's the town on the south side of Lake Minnetonka where the boat shows at every year?
Maui?
Excelsior.
Excelsior. When I was a courier, I would
Not there anymore.
I would use the lake as a shortcut in the winter. I would just drive in my Honda Accord. I would drive from Excelsior to Wayzata, and you save
It is a hell of a shortcut.
you save a ton of time. There's no speed limit on the lake, so you can crank her up.
Your Honda Accord.
Yeah.
He might make it back up on the street. We'll see.
Just bottoming out and sparks, the whole deal.
In the immortal words of Mitch Hedberg, man, that is some rural bleep.
See, I would have driven along the shoreline. It would have taken twice as long.